Hello. This tutorial covers the finding the volume of prisms and cylinders. Will help with the home learning for assignment 9.2. So to find the volume of prisms and cylinders, it's pretty simple. I mean, not a lot of steps. Prisms and cylinders are very similar figures. Both have two bases, and they're going to have so the two bases are going to be identical shapes, and then so what you do is you just find the area of the base and multiply by what we call the height. The height's actually the distance between the two bases. So, for example, here this would be a triangular prism. So you would find the area of this triangle here. So you got two right there, and then you would multiply it by the height, and that's pretty much it. And the height's just the distance between the two triangles. Now, anytime you have a rectangular prism, you can do these slightly differently or slightly different. Much simpler process. You just take the length, width, and height, and you just multiply all three together. Okay, 9 times 17 times 24, for example. Now, for a cylinder, it's the same concept. Find the area of the base, which is going to be a circle, and you multiply by the height, which is the distance between the two bases. Okay. So for the home learning, this was here. Now, what you need to be able to do is, or know, is the area of each of these bases. So, for example, here you know the area of a triangle. Here, area of a circle. Here, area of a trapezoid. So for number one, this one's just a rectangular prism. So all you would literally have to do is just multiply those three together. That's it. Number two. Okay, so we got a triangle. So we would need to determine the area of the triangle. Now, if we don't have a right angle in the triangle, we would need to split it up like this. So I'm going to redraw it right here. All right, so that's 12, and that's 12 here, and that means this is also going to be 12. Okay, so what we're going to do is we just need to find this distance right there. Okay, and we find this, and then once we get this will be the height of the triangle. We multiply it by the base right there. Now I'm going to redraw this part of that triangle. There's a couple ways we can do this. So that's going to be 12, and half of 12 is going to be 6. Okay, so this is an equilateral triangle, which means it's equiangular. So then each of the angles is 60 degrees. So that's going to be a 30-60 triangle. See the relationship between the short side and the hypotenuse? It's 2. So you may recall what the relationship between the short side and the long side. We multiply by radical 3. So there's a couple ways to find this. If you can remember the shortcut, which I'm doing right now, is you multiply the short side by radical 3. So this would just be 6 radical 3, like that. Okay. Now what you would need to do is put this in your calculator. So 6 radical 3, because it's going to be base times height divided by 2, and that's going to be for the area of the triangle. Just remember, it is volume equals base of the triangle times the height. Okay. And this is what we're doing right there, area of the base. The base of this whole triangle right there is going to be 12, so that 12 would go there, and the height would be 6 radical 3, so it would be go right there. So you would put this in your calculator first, then multiply it by 12, and then divide it by 2. It's going to give you the base, and then the height is the distance between the two right there, so it would be, the height would be 18. All right, so for number 3, all right, so we've got a circle cylinder, so its volume equals so it's pi r squared for the area of the circle times the height. And so all you would do is just plug in 3.2 for the radius. Height is 9. And just multiply that across, and that's it. For number 4, we've got a trapezoid. So now on this one, let's see, we've got the height. We don't have to use Pythagorean theorem or anything. So you would just find the area of, so we'll call that trapezoid, area of the base, so the trapezoid times the height. So for the trapezoid, area of the trapezoid, it's, remember, base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times the height. So this is 16 there, so that would be 16 plus 37. Okay, so you would add those together, divide by 2, and then you would multiply by the height, which is 25.7. That's going to give you the area of the base, and then you're just going to multiply that by the height. Remember, the height is the distance between the two trapezoids, right there. All right, so number 5, word problem. Cylinder has a height of 8 inches. Volume here, find its diameter. So we're going to work backwards. So remember, its volume equals pi r squared times the height. Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to find the radius here, and then once we get the radius, we multiply by 2. So the volume is 2908.33 equals pi 3.14 radius squared times the height, which is 8. Yeah. Okay, so we would multiply these two right here. Once we multiply those together, we would divide both sides by the product of 8 and 3.14, and that would isolate r squared. Then the last step is going to be to take the square root of both sides. So you should be able to get, I'll go ahead and help you with this last. So that would be what, 24, so what, 25.23, carry the 1, I think it's 1, 2. Pretty sure that's right, I did that in my head. Just double check that in the calculator. And then we divide by that, and then you take the square root to get the radius. So that's it.